Welcome back to my 12 days of components. Today is day 6 and today we are going to look at using SVG patterns to decorate our presents a little bit more. So here we are in our app with our 4 Christmas trees and the presents which we drew yesterday. Today we're going to have a look at using SVG patterns to make those presents look a little bit better. So let's move over to components, and on the day 5 present there I'm going to 3 dots, duplicate it, and while we remember, let's quickly rename that to be day 6 present patterned. So let's go straight to the image that's on there and let's have a look at the SVG code. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add what's called a def, and that fits in just after the SVG but before you do anything else in there. Now defs allow you to define a number of things, and this time we're going to be using it to put in a pattern. So we're going to go with the set pattern first. So I'm going to copy and paste in a pattern into here. So there we are. We've got a pattern there. So it starts with a def tag, and then within there we've got some patterns. Now this pattern has a name of paper. Okay, so that's what that section there is. It's got a view box, and then we've drawn a polygon inside it. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Okay, so that's what it's showing. And our present, which is this rectangle line here, we're going to, instead of it saying fill blue, we're going to there put in a URL and then open close brackets, and then within inside that URL we're going to put hash and then the name of your pattern, which if you look at the top there has an ID equals paper. So it goes like that, and if we take that away, there we are, we've got a star pattern. If we now return to the screen, let's step into here and let's insert a new present. So insert custom, and let's put in our new version of a present. And there we are, we have a patterned present to put into there. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to give multiple patterns, and I don't want to have a different component for every pattern. Okay, at the moment the pattern is hard coded. So what I have loaded in advance is a table of SVG patterns. Okay, and this has 2 columns. It has a pattern name and it has the SVG code for each pattern. So we're going to go back to our component. Okay, and we're going to add in 2 inputs. So we're going to go for a new custom property, and this is going to be our list of patterns. Okay, and its data type is going to be a table, and let's click create. And so I'm going to click on patterns there, and it gives us a sample there, but I've already arranged a sample. I've already typed one out, so let me just copy and paste that in. And there we are, we've got a demo and we've got some polygon points. It's exactly the same as the last one, but do you know what, to make it look different, we're going to change that colour blue to red. So let's hide that away for a second. Okay, so that's given me a table. Now we're going to put in another custom property, and this is going to be the pattern name. Okay, so, and that's going to be text, and there we go, create. And the pattern name we're going to set up to be demo. So now with a patterns table and a pattern name, we need to add a lookup to our SVG for our present. So we step into here. This section here, this part here, the polygon, is what we're going to replace. So we put into there some quotes and some ampersands, and then we put into there a lookup, okay, which looks up parent.patterns, that's the table coming in. The pattern name equals parent.pattern name, that's the name that's been passed into it, and what we want to return is the pattern. And if we look, there we are, one very red present. So red patterned paper with a red ribbon on the top. Okay, so that's all working. Now let's go back into our screen. Okay, and there's our very red present. If I go and take out a different present, okay, and onto this present I'm going to insert a day 6 present, the very red variety. Okay, now my patterns, I am going to take out the code that's there, and I'm going to bring in the data that I've already brought in from my Excel workbook that's called SVG Patterns. Okay, and my pattern name, let's go for one I know it's in there, called checkerboard. Helps if I can spell it. There we go. We've got some checkerboard paper. And let's bring in another present. And this time, and let's make sure our patterns are pointing to the same thing. Okay, so my SVG patterns again. And this time I'm going to put in star. And there we go, we get a different pattern. So that was us using some SVG patterns to colour in some shapes, to give some more flexibility to the things we can do with graphics inside a Power App. If you haven't already, please press subscribe. Take care now.